Hello, hello. This is Robert Ferguson, your nutritionist. Yes, I've been dubbed America's Fat Loss Coach. I created a methodology called Diet Free Life, and it's a method that has been at work since 1995. Woo! So that gives you an idea how long I've been at this. So I've been at it for a long time, and I'm going to share something with you today that you want to know about. And if you don't know about it, you want to know about it. And that is, number one, calories don't really count. All the medical books right now, all over, are saying that it's all about calories in and calories out. And I'll never forget reading quite a few studies in the beginning of the 21st century, and one specifically that was in the Journal of American Medical Association, where they slammed the idea or the notion that a calorie is a calorie. And it was challenged so big that it's very clear. And since that time, I've seen even more studies where weight loss is not about calories. So if you ever meet someone who tells you that it's all about calories, then they're lying. Now, I'm going to be somewhat controversial today because I'm going to share with you a video of a friend of mine who I call him the man, because he was on many news stations, and they just kept saying, there's a man who ate Twinkies and lost all this weight. And he's not just a man. I mean, he's a man, but he's a professor. He's like the head guru at a major university. He is highly skilled, educated, and trained in dietetics. And he wanted to share with people that there's no real benefit in demonizing foods. Now, I would argue that a little bit today. And he did this little experiment in 2011. And so I want you to watch a news clip. And there's quite a few that I could pick from, but I want to share one. And then I'm going to pause after a couple of statements. But because he was so focused on helping people realize that you can eat, for the most part, many things that you want. And if you have structure in place, you can not only lose weight, but you can improve many parts of your health. Okay, so he went on the Twinkie diet. And Dr. Hobb, I actually interviewed him on my show years ago, and we had a great conversation. We've stayed in touch since that time. But his whole point was, let's not just beat up on everything, but create structure. And he looked at calories, which a lot of people can lose weight counting calories. I mean, you can lose weight counting points. You can lose weight eating licorice. You can eat. There's an alcoholic weight loss program. There's a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting. There's a lot of ways to do it. The question you want to ask yourself is if I lose weight this way, is it something that I can do even after I've lost the weight? Interesting, right? If you just ask that question, it'll rule out many things, but many people don't even know about the Diet Free Life methodology. They really don't. They don't know about me. They have no idea. So it's new to them. And the response is always the same. People love it. So anyway, let's take a look, and then I'll check in with you. But watch this, okay? Because this is intriguing. Remember, this guy ended up losing 27 pounds in 10 weeks. He improved his cholesterol. He improved his triglycerides. He dropped body fat. So we didn't just look at the BMI. Everything improved. Everything. And then he was eating every 3 hours, Twinkies, all kind of packaged stuff. And people just had a hard time getting it. But it was the structure that he followed. And yes, he wasn't overindulging. And as a result of weight loss, sometimes you can see improvements in all these other areas. Okay, so take a listen.
To avoid this stuff? Let's talk with the guy who claims that the so-called Twinkie diet worked for him. He's a nutrition professor. He's not just some crazy guy that tried this diet. Mark Hobb joins us from Manhattan, Kansas. So, Mark, I see all these postgraduate degrees that you have in exercise and medicine. Didn't this diet seem counterintuitive to you?
It's definitely counterintuitive, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to take it on as a class project to give the students a live look at metabolism in action.
Okay, so all right, so it was obviously an interesting experiment to take on. But explain to me how this would possibly work and be good for you. Or maybe I should say, how did it work? Because I think we know it's not good for you with all that sugar and fat and calories.
Okay, let me just notice how this woman, the newscaster, said that we know it's not good for you. So this is called confirmation bias, is when someone has a preconceived idea or thought that they believe is the truth. This gentleman, who she calls the guy or the man, has spent years being educated, and he is like the head person in charge of dietetics as far as nutrition at a major university. So for me, I would be looking at this woman going, why is she like assuming she knows what's real instead of just saying, okay, can you please explain it to us? I just find that really interesting. All right, let's get back to it.
Those are the two primary principles that we try to touch on in class, and one is energy deficit. If we decrease caloric intake relative to expenditure, weight loss should, and typically in most cases does occur, and that was the quote-unquote easy part. The other part, the health aspect, that was the unexpected outcome. As you noted, the sucrose, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, saturated fat, trans fats are all supposed to increase cardiovascular disease markers, and in my case, it did just the opposite.
So you lost the weight, but how did you feel? Did you feel zapped of energy and just gross eating all this stuff?
Okay, all right. Sometimes I have a hard time watching, again, confirmation bias at its best. She's automatically assuming you're going to feel gross. You're going to be horrible. It's not going to be good for you. Again, you have to, when you watch the news and you watch reports, don't allow these people to set you up to where you take on their beliefs and then you watch it and not hear what his points are. And every news clipping that he was on when he talked about the Twinkie experiment and how he lost weight and improved his health, they never just let him explain the science of it. Instead, they went in with preconceived ideas, and it just messes up everything. All right. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, day one was the toughest. That was I've done low carbohydrate and low fat, and the first day was one of those things where during that day I didn't know if I'd make it through the weekend. But I started on a Wednesday. By Friday morning, when I woke up Friday morning, I felt fine. I felt normal. And since then, I think with the weight loss, sleep apnea and snoring related issues have decreased, which has I think enhanced kind of quality of life and energy levels. And so it may not be directly related to the food I'm eating, but more due to the weight loss.
Okay.
Oh my God. Are you guys all right? Are you guys listening to what he just said? Come on. The guy ate Twinkies, chips. Now he did eat some vegetables because he told me this offline. He did walk. That was the only method of exercise that he did. And he actually ate some for dinner. He would have like a meal with some vegetables with his family. He had his kids and all that stuff. But the weight loss in itself, the guy feels better. Everything is better. Jeez. Okay, let's keep it going.
So just in layman's terms, because I'm looking at all your degrees here in exercise science and exercise physiology and geriatrics and oh my goodness, and I'm sort of trying to comprehend how you're talking about the breakdown and how your body develops certain things as you eat all of this. But in layman's terms, explain to me how you could eat so much sugar and fat and still lose weight.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate doing this. I really do. But I have to weigh in on this. Listen to the disbelief this woman just shared. How is it possible? How could you eat sugar and fat and lose weight? Again, so many people have a preconceived idea of what weight loss is, and they can't even give themselves time to learn the truth. I'm talking about this all the time, and you can see it right here in live. Okay, it's mind-blowing to me.
think the issue is on the definitions and the terms used so much, because it's not really so much. I ate roughly, I would keep my snacks to about 400 to 500 calories and have about 4 of them. And so basically it's a Twinkie or a snack cake, a zebra cake, what have you, and then a glass of milk with a multivitamin once or twice a day. And then I'd throw in some carrots, celery, tomatoes for some added nutrients. And that's what it is. So it's not the amount of carbohydrates that I consumed is less than what I was consuming before. The amount of fat, although the content in some of those foods is high, the actual amount on a daily basis is lower than what I was consuming as well. And so as an overall 24-hour nutrient intake, the numbers have actually decreased relative to what I was consuming before. I was just eating too much. I was eating good things before, but I was eating too many.
Gotcha. So you could just eat less good things and throw in a little garbage, and you're going to be okay, bottom line.
Well, yeah, I think that's the issue. I think we're trying to remove all the bad things out of people's diets when, maybe a few of those quote-unquote bad things actually may have some positive effects mentally or socially to allow us to maybe feel a little better. You mentioned you talked on your show about Thanksgiving dinner, and I totally agree. That's coming around the corner. And, the positive mental aspects may be as important as some of the physical aspects if you remove some of those things.
Got it. Now I see where your psychology degree comes into play. Mark, it was interesting. Quite a talker. Yeah, there we go. All right. It all makes sense now.
Well, it doesn't make sense now. If it made sense, she wouldn't have giggled and she would have been like going, okay, this is good. This is a new way of looking at things. So I could eat the Twinkie. I could have the jelly beans. Yeah, there's a lot of things you could eat. But think about all the people who are avoiding Twinkies and avoiding jelly beans and anything labeled around carbs or sugar to lose weight. And many of them are having a tough time. And this is where it gets a little controversial, right? Because I know that in a lot of these processed foods, there are ingredients that, yes, you may lose weight because you're eating less than you ate before. But on a cellular level, you're probably, I'm saying probably, beginning or adding to the demise of your health from a metabolic point of view. So we know that vegetable oils and seed oils create damage on the cellular level. We know that they're pro-inflammatory. This is not going to work for just everybody. I mean, Dr. Hobb here is someone who is not in his 60s. He definitely has metabolic flexibility, which is obvious because he was able to eat those things. I have clients that couldn't look at a Twinkie and expect to lose weight. But the good news is that we can all get to a place where we can have metabolic flexibility. So we can all become fat burners instead of carb burners. It's just a matter of structure. So if you said, okay, Robert, like how do I make this work? Okay, tell me more about your program. How does this work? Well, a lot of it comes down to structure. Okay, structure. Yeah. And then the other thing is I want to apologize because with this live, I realized that there's a lot of feedback. So I apologize for that. And it probably made it difficult for people to listen in. And we'll fix that in the very near future. But if you were able to hang in there with me, I just want to say thank you for hanging in there with me. And I will definitely do this again so that the sound is better across the board. Again, my entire point in why I'm sharing this is that if you want a damn Twinkie every once in a while, eat a Twinkie. But don't make it a primary thing that you eat on a regular basis. There's a way to make it fit. I mean, for years, I've been telling people you can lose weight and improve your health eating the foods you love. And we have demonstrated that consistently with thousands of people since 1995. And everything that I've said and continue to do continues to stay in truth. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do if you haven't is I have a free online seminar where I talk about this report that we make available to people called the Carb Threshold Report. If you have not watched that or listened to it, do so. The link is provided. It's a really good seminar. It's 60 minutes long. So, you can listen to it in bites or you can listen to it like when you go on a hike. There are some visuals because I do like a PowerPoint as I walk people through it. But It's there, and it can be a life changer. Okay, so check it out when you get a chance. And again, I apologize for the sound. That was not my fault. We did figure out what was causing it, and in the future, we won't have that problem again. All right. So thank you, and until the next one, peace.